Hey guys, I'm Mr. Bo and welcome back to another community ideas video. Last week I went through your ideas for what you would like to see in the brand new Taken King raid. If you missed that video, there'll be a link at the end of this one, or there's a link in the description below so you can go and check that out. But for this week I asked you guys for your ideas for brand new exotic weapons for the Taken King expansion. You guys had a load of awesome ideas and I'm going to be going through them all right now. So let's start off with Matt Hatter's idea, the Bisector AR. It has medium rate of fire and impact. The stability and range is about 50. It holds 25 in the mag, and then the first perk is glass half full. The second perk tree has perfect balance, increased mag to 50, and a single point sling. And then the second perk on this gun is called Bisection. Every time you kill an enemy, surrounding enemies have a 50% chance of taking damage. The closer they are, the more damage they take. Damage stacks up to half health. That is a really cool idea for a gun. I really like the idea of people around the person you are shooting getting damaged as well. It would be really cool for in things like Control, where you have someone on a target, you can shoot them and hopefully damage people around them. We don't really have too many exotic auto rifles. We have Hard Light and Surus Regime, so it'd be really nice to see some more. So I really like this idea. Definitely like that exotic perk for this weapon. That'd be really cool. I'd love to see what this gun would look like as well. Moving on, Parity S says, I had a very strange idea for an exotic weapon, an auto rifle that has two unlockable perks that change the way it fires. You can switch between these perks whenever you want. One perk makes the gun fire extremely quickly, faster or as fast as a Necrochasm, but with very high stability and a decent impact. The second perk makes the gun fire insanely slow, 1 bullet per second, but all your primary ammo goes into one clip, so you never have to reload it. Again, that is a great idea for a weapon. I love the ability to switch between two different perks. It's kind of like the 347 Vested Dynasty, which we haven't seen in the game yet. That had the ability to switch between two perks, so I definitely like that aspect of it. And then out of those two perks, which one would I choose if this was a real gun? I'd probably go for the extremely quickly with the high stability and decent impact. And then Parity S also has another idea for a shotgun that fires like an ordinary shotgun when fired from the hip, but it fires like a scout rifle when you aim down the sights. I really like the idea of exotic weapons taking on the attributes of other weapon types. So like we have here a shotgun, hip fire, an ordinary, then you zoom in, it has a little bit more range, a little bit more stability, and probably a little bit slower like a scout rifle. That would be really cool to see. We then have George Rolfe, hopefully I'm saying that last name right. I was on an exotic weapon forum page, and one of the ideas was a hand cannon that looked like the last word but acted like Hawkmoon. Its exotic perk was landing every shot in the magazine instantly reloads the weapon, and the next magazine would do bonus damage, stacks up to 3 times. He says this would be very good for Prison of Elders and would reward those who are very accurate. So while I do like the idea for this weapon, I think this could be a little bit too overpowered. Perhaps maybe every time you land a critical shot that it reloads, but I think the combination of instantly reloading the weapon and the next magazine doing bonus damage, that could just be a little bit too overpowered, especially for the Crucible, but I definitely do like the idea. We then have Matthew Walsh, who says, I have a bit of a twist. I guess it's kind of a weapon. I think they should add an exotic Sparrow that has 2 options, decrease speed and durability, but add a short range and medium damage gun like a pike, and a normal Sparrow option which is just a bit faster because it is an exotic Sparrow. So we are all waiting for the exotic Sparrow. We know there's one called the Dawn Chaser and it's going to be coming to Destiny probably with the Taken King, but I'd definitely like to see an exotic Sparrow. Whether I think Sparrows should have guns or not, that is debatable. We do have pikes which you can go and pick up. I personally don't think Sparrows should ever have guns on them because that means you're not going to be getting off them to use your normal guns. You're just going to be whizzing around on that, though the fact that it is a medium damage gun could work. Karma Bears brings up the idea of exotic Iron Banner weapon. I think it'd be really cool to achieve, but hard at the same time. I'd like for it to have many steps until you acquire the weapon, but I don't know what type of weapon it would be. He also goes on to say he'd like to see more hybrid weapons like the Queenbreaker's bow and the Lord of Wolves, and says maybe like a sniper rifle scope on a shotgun. That'd be really cool. But as for exotic weapons with the Iron Banner, I think this is a really cool idea. I personally don't really play the Iron Banner too much because there isn't really much to achieve from it, though I will start playing it when it comes out with the Taken King because there is a load of new armor which looks super cool. As for exotic weapons in the Iron Banner, this would definitely give you something to achieve. Perhaps it's an exotic bounty that drops randomly that you need to play in order to get it to drop, kind of like what we thought the exotic bounty would be for the Fateful Falls with the Trials of Osiris. I think this could be a really cool thing to get people playing the Iron Banner a lot more, and maybe you could have multiple exotic bounties in the Iron Banner. Surge Cave says, this is my idea for an exotic sidearm called Eagle's Claw. Stats: rate of fire is 29, impact is 32, stability is 56, reload is 22, and magazine is 21. First perk: Surplus. Middle row perk: Perfect Balance, Flared Magwell, and Send It. Main perk is called Eagle's Prey. Kills with this weapon will allow you to see all enemies for 8 seconds, and kills help charge your grenade. Range is 49. Unlike all sidearms, this one has impact and doesn't have travel time. So I really like this idea. I'm guessing the eagle idea is drawn from Assassin's Creed with eagle vision. So I think this is a really cool idea. The fact that when you kill an enemy, you get to see where people are around him, so that you can go and kill them and not get pounced on by other enemies. That's really cool. I could see this weapon having the brand new perk, which is going to be introduced with the Taken King, which actually extends your radar as well, so we could see that as one of the perks on this gun. As he says, the range is 49, so it wouldn't be that far, so you wouldn't be able to see like across the map, which would make this gun totally OP. So I could definitely see this working and would be very useful in things like Trials of Osiris and again Iron Banner. Paul Gordit then says, I'd like to see an auto rifle that increases aim assist every shot you land. This would allow some use out of higher rate of fire weapons. The idea is the more you hit your opponent, the more the gun snaps to his head. For this to be practical though, Bungie would have to buff auto rifles so they're once again usable. So yeah, auto rifles aren't great in the game at the moment. Bungie are going to be talking about weapon balancing in the upcoming weeks, so hopefully we do see a buff to auto rifles. Now I could definitely see this perk being on an exotic weapon. Some people might see this as a little bit overpowered. I guess it really depends on the person using the gun, and this weapon would probably be more useful for the Crucible than it would be for PvE. And then lastly, Destroyer Job 1 says he'd like a rocket launcher that shoots one big laser. So basically what he wants here is the laser cannon from Halo, and he also has an idea of maybe a primary sniper rifle, bolt action one, kind of like the No Land Beyond, but fast rate of fire, and the exotic perk on it is that precision kills have a chance to turn you invisible, and if you get a kill, your grenade has a chance to instantly recharge. I could definitely see that working as well, but I really want to see a Spartan cannon in Destiny now. You've got me really hyped. Maybe we'll see something like that in the Taken King. Who knows? So those were all your ideas for brand new exotic weapons you would like to see in the Taken King. You guys all had awesome ideas, and I could definitely see all these weapons being actual weapons in the Taken King. So with exotic weapons out the way, next week I want to know what kind of exotic armor would you like to see in the Taken King. That can be helmets, chest piece, gauntlets, boots, and even class items. We know there are going to be exotic class items with the Taken King, especially in the collector's edition. So if you guys have any ideas for exotic armor for any class, let me know in the comments below, and next week I will go through all your ideas. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you missed last week's video in which I went over your ideas for what you'd like to see in the brand new raid, you can click the link on screen or in the description below. Feel free to give the like button a big old hug and subscribe for tons more Destiny content and coverage. I am Mr. Bo. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.